Morning, guys. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online, please confirm to me, guys. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Yes. Good morning to all. Good morning, Gati. All right, guys. Now, can you check it what we completed, what you completed in the last sessions? Any idea? Right. So, just in the last two classes, just we completed only Java history, the total background story for Java, why Java programming language was introduced, what's the need of it, then somewhat background story we discussed in the last session. That should be good. And in today's session, we are going to start uh, another new content that would be like differences between Java and others. Differences between Java and others, the topic we are going to discuss. Right, guys. Now, here, differences between Java and others. Others in the sense what? Others in the sense just a C and C++. C and C++. So why I'm taking this particular topic as part of this introduction? The reason why I'm taking this topic now. So most of the people are having some kind of awareness. If you want to learn Java programming language, first we have to learn C programming language. Then after that we have to learn C++. After that only we have to learn Java. Some people are believing in this chain process. But here itself I'm telling to you clearly, here itself I'm confirming that core Java is a fundamental course. Core Java is a fundamental course. For this fundamental course, again, another fundamental course is not required. Core Java is a fundamental. For this fundamental, again, another fundamental is not required. So, in which way we start our C programming language? In which way we used to start our C++? In the same way, we can start core Java as a first programming language. It doesn't require any prerequisite. Understand it? What I'm telling you? Good. Here also keywords are available. Here also operators are available. Here also like fundamentals are available. So we are going to start with that fundamentals only. To learn these fundamentals again, another fundamental technology or programming language is not required. So that I'm confirming. Right. I want to show this point practically. I want to say this point practical. That's why I have taken the topic now, differences between Java and others. So the main intention of taking this particular topic is Java and others. That means what is the main intention of it? Java is totally different from other programming languages. So these two programming languages are not at all prerequisites to understand this Java. In the case at any location, if some dependency is available, so what I will do, first of all, I will discuss that C and C++ dependent topics. After that only, I'll come back to the Java. So because of this reason, I'm confirming to all of you guys, with the open mind, come to the class. I will take the responsibility how to inject this content to you clearly. Good. This is what's the point here I'm telling you clearly. So can you say this topic has the differences between procedure-oriented and object-oriented programming language? No, 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 no. So the topic we will discuss just before introducing object orientation. Yeah, there some types of programming languages are available. So at maybe the moment when I'm going to start object orientation, then I will take some introduction part where unstructured programming languages, structured programming languages, that means procedure-oriented programming languages and object-oriented programming languages, aspect-oriented programming languages. There in the future we will discuss about it. Now this is not the content related to procedure-oriented and object-oriented. So this topic is purely the technology, programming languages, differences between Java and others. That's it. Right, yes. Then beyond that level, beyond this procedure orientation, object orientation, we are going to discuss. So that's why here I want to talk about some concepts. Right, sir. Right, sir. If someone asks what is the latest version of Java, what we need to do? With Java 1.4, 14 and Java 14 means one and the same. Exactly 1.14 and Java 14 both are same. Yeah, in general, in JDKs, whenever we are talking here, we can call it as a JDK 1.14 or we can say Java 14. Both are same. Java 14 or JDK 1.14, right? Then both are same. Even some situations people are saying J2SE 14 also. Some people are saying in this version also. So like this, both are same. So simply we can speak Java 14, 14th version. That's it. JDK 1.14 or Java 14. That we can specify. Pawan Kumar. Understand it? Right, guys? Right. And then when we have Python, which is easy, why do we need to go with Java? Right, sir. See, one thing I'm telling you, when we go for the comparison between Java and Python, Python is having its own advantages, Java is having its own advantages. So anyway, we are in Java. So if you want to talk one advantage of this Java, no, when compared with Python, Java performance is very good. Java performance is very good. And if you go for enterprise application development, Java is the king. No other technology is replacement for Java, including Python. Python is a child in enterprise application development. Java is a king. Already it is available in its peak. Only Java is suitable for enterprise application development. So no other programming language is required. Even though Python is available, but Python is mainly for data analysis side, not for enterprise application development. At the same time, Java is not for data analysis side. Java is for only enterprise application development. So differences are available. So both are having their own areas. Both are having their own areas. So we can understand it. What I'm telling you. Yes, guys, understand my point, right? So that is depending on the requirement what we are going to use. That's it. Yeah, that's what Pawan Kumar. That's why I'm giving clarity for you. So here itself, see, then whether you really aware about it or not, I don't know. At Durgasoft, I'm taking both the classes, both the Java and Python, both the classes I'm taking. Even at Java, right from core Java to up to end. Even in Python also, right from Python to up to the end, even up to framework level also I'm taking it. So as a person, as I'm taking both the technologies, this I'm telling this information to you so we can understand it now. So next to 20 to 25 years of time, no problem for Java. There's a straight line. It is already in its peak. No other technology is a replacement for it. Don't go for rumors in outside. See, some why some rumors are created. I can give some examples to you. Yeah, I observed it. Really, I observed it. So even I observed it, and I'm giving this information to the most of the people in outside. Simple, one simple. Just open job portals, anything, any job portal in outside. Open it. Try to check the number of job postings, no, and which technology number of postings are available. Just we can check it. And which technology number of postings are available. Just we can check it. That may be fresher level and experience level. Just we can check it. Then by that we can understand it clearly. See, data science is getting good demand. Why? Because it created its new area. New area it was created, so it's getting demand. It doesn't mean it is overriding Java. It means that along with Java, the data science is also getting more popular. As part of this data science, Python is getting more popular. That's it. So it doesn't mean it is overriding Java, it's replacement for Java. It means that along with Java, it's also be getting good demand. But Java is not having any damage for it. So of course, in Facebook maybe or in outside maybe number of people are giving some ratings and some kind of calculations they are doing on the basis of these technologies now. But don't believe all these things. But just only one simple calculation. Open any job portal, just check for it. Where how many number of jobs are available for Python, how many number of jobs are available for Java. That's it. Just compare it. That's a real case. It's a real case. Then where if number of jobs are available for Python, for example, if you observe there, out of 100 job postings, no, 70 jobs are available for only Python. Only 30 jobs are available for Java. Yes, I do agree. I will follow you. I will believe you. All right, sir. But as per my confirmation, what I'm telling you know, just as I'm having awareness on it, so 70% of the companies are expecting Java. 70% of job recruitments are going on the basis of this Java. Not even that. So number of students which already completed Java and Python with me, I used to get every day minimum 4 to 5 students are used to giving intimations to me. Sir, I got job in this company. I got job in this company there. Even there also I calculated the ratio. What was the ratio I identified there? If 3 members are saying that, sir, I got job in now Java, 3 members they are saying no. One member might be saying at Python. That too, with only Python, nothing is going to be happen. With the Python, either we have to go for frameworks or we have to go for data science. Then it is very clear. Then it is going on. Right. Definitely. Then in outside also number of opportunities are more. Just here itself I'm telling there, 70% of the market is going on with Java. Why? Because see one thing I'm telling there, how long your banks are running, how long your bank applications are coming, how long your insurance companies are running, how long your healthcare department is going on perfectly. Up to the time Java is not having any problem. Where in every bank application maybe, or healthcare applications maybe, aerospace applications maybe, or maybe insurance applications maybe, e-commerce applications maybe, and everywhere Java is going on. Yeah, exactly, guys. What I'm telling to you, right? Good. Okay, guys. Any doubts on Java? Any of you are having any doubts on Java? Yeah, definitely, zebras. Definitely, no doubt for it. Even you're having 8 years of experience there, then where first to 4 years of experience we can show as is, and last 4 years of experience we can show on Java. That's it. We are able to get it, right? Okay, fine, no issues. Then separately we will talk about it. Good. Here you will be discussing all new features of Java. Exactly, up to Java 14. No compromise on it. Up to Java 14. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Good. Anyway, guys, now then listen. Now let's move on to our content here. Yeah, then there no problem, no problem. Wait. Right, sir. Then up to Java 14 version, we are going to discuss. In the case if Java 15 officially released it there, I didn't check it, sir. Last few days onwards, I didn't check it. I was totally busy with some other. That's why I didn't check it. The Java, might be then 15 is released or not. I will check it and I will give information. But max, if 14, if 15 is releasing, meanwhile, while doing your course, definitely I will include that 15th version of Java also. You have to check that. Up to the latest versions, we are going to understand. Fine, guys. That's fine. Now let's move on to our content and then differences between Java and others. Guys, can I move forward? Can I move forward? I think all of your answers are clear. All of your questions are clear. Can I move forward? No response. Guys, all of you respond one time so that I'll satisfy and I will move forward. But thank you. So differences between Java and others. Enter material Java. Yes. Yeah. Then within 1 or 2 days of time, that material will be uploaded, guys. You'll get it. Yeah. Fine. So differences between Java and others. The very first difference, what I'm telling to you, C and C++ are static programming languages, but Java is a dynamic programming language. And C++ are static programming languages, but Java is dynamic programming language. as a paper. This is the first difference. But before going to understand, first we have to know when a programming language is a static programming language and when a programming language is a dynamic programming language. First we have to understand it. After that, we will decide C, C++, Java are static programming languages or dynamic programming languages. After that, we will discuss. First of all, we need to understand what is static programming language and what is dynamic programming language. Understand, yes, what I'm telling you. And Winky, Sai Winky, I'm not talking about statically typed and dynamically typed. That is different. Just I'm talking about just normal static programming language and a dynamic programming language. Good. Understand, guys? Guys, one small request I'm sending to all of you. In this particular discussion, don't bring Python into the picture. Because if you require that in a separate, I will take one session to compare Java and Python, where a number of differences I can talk now. But in this discussion, don't bring Python. Why? Because if you bring Python, again and again you may have the questions. Why? Because features point of view, Java and Python almost all 90% they are going to be matched. Every time we are going to have a question, then why Java, already Python, or why Java? This kind of questions we'll get. So don't bring Python into this picture. Purely just compare Java with the C and C++, understand it, status of Java. Then after that, at one time, one day, definitely I will take one session to compare Java and Python. Even at a programmatic level also, I can compare with that. But at present, just we have to talk about Java in comparison with the C and C++. Understand it, guys? Don't think about it. Don't think about this Python. Unnecessary confusion we are able to get at this level. After getting some idea on Java, I will talk about Python later on. If you require that, any one session I will take it. Okay? Clear to all of you now. Is it clear to all of you? Right. Right, sir. Now, first we have to understand when a programming language is a static programming language and when a programming language is dynamic programming language. This is my question. Good. For that purpose, I'm going to ask one question to you, one fundamental question I'm asking to you. Try to observe carefully. All of you guys. For example, guys, all of you understand it now? I take it this is C program. This is C program. Dot C. This is C program. Dot C. Good. Now, I'm asking to you clearly, what is the requirement to write the C program? Why we wrote the C program? What's the need? What is the requirement to write the C program in order to get outputs? Definitely. Then we want to get some results. Result in the sense of output. In order to get some outputs only, we have written the C program. Now here we are able to get like what now? Output. Good. Now I've written this C program just to generate some outputs only. Good. But my question is, whenever we have written C program, then how it is possible to get output directly? How it is possible to get output directly, guys? If you want to get output, then we require execution or not. Processing is required or not. We have to execute our program or not if you want to get output. Come on, guys. Time to time, I'm asking questions to you. You have to give responses to me. Then only I can understand you are following or not. So, if you want to get output from C program, first we have to execute the program or not. Right? First, we have to execute our program. So, what I will do, I want to execute this program. I need to execute this program. So that we need to perform execution. So that we need to perform execution. So this is execution process. That means what is the meaning of it now? Whatever the C program can be prepared, the C program we have to provide to the execution. Execution process must execute it and it has to generate some output. Then who will execute our C program? Guys, remember all of you. Who will execute our C program? C programs are executed by an engine. That engine is called as C engine. C engine. This is the normal terminology. General terminology I'm telling you, C engine. Don't think about it. What is C engine separately? So you will not required to understand what is executing. Just a machine is executing our C program. That is called a C engine. Right. So then, what is the point I'm telling to you? Observe carefully. Yes. Just wait a minute of 5 minutes. Guys, right. Now observe carefully. So here we have to give the C program to the C engine. C engine has to execute this program, and here we are going to get some output. But here I have a small problem, guys. What's the problem here? Now tell me, all of you now tell me. This C.C file provided by whom? Who has given this .C file? Is that a developer or any machine? Come on, guys, respond for me. .C file provided by whom? Is a developer or any other machine? Developer only. Developer only. Is a source code or not? Source code or not? .c file contains source code or not? Definitely source code. .c file contains a source code that is provided by developer. Good. How developer is able to provide the source code? How developer is able to provide the source code in his understandable form or not? Developer is able to write the source code in his understandable form or not? In his understandable form, in the sense, developers are able to understand only high-level representation or not? Developers are able to understand high-level representation or not? That means the code which is available in a C file, the code which is available in source code, the code which is available in .c file is a high-level representation, high-level language representation. C programming language only. Basically, it is a C only, C syntaxes only, simple high-level representation. It means that high-level representation in the sense, just we can understand, die is equal to 10 semicolon. So developer can understand 10 is a value, I is a variable, integer data type. So integer data, I variables of type integer. It able to store 10. 10 is a data. So this is high-level representation that developer can understand and can write the program in this only. Good. But now tell me, I've written this program in high level. That high level program I'm giving to C engine. C engine. Tell me now, C engine is any human being or is a machine? C engine is what? Is it a human being or is any mission? Is it a mission or human being? Definitely mission. Definitely mission. If it is a mission, which level, which language, which representation it able to understand? If it is a mission, it able to understand mission friendly language or not? It able to understand low level representation or not? So mission is able to understand low level representation. Mission is able to understand low level representation. What is this low level representation, guys? What is this low level representation? Say, for example, in die is equal to 10 semicolon we provided now. That low level representation, if you're thinking now, that would be might be like zeros and ones, maybe mission language representation. That mission is required. My content is very much clear now. We are able to write program in high level. C engine, it is going to execute our program actually. C engine required program in low level. So we provided high level program to the C engine. It unable to execute that high level program directly. Why? Because it's a mission basically, it required low level representation. That means the code must be provided in the form of zeros and ones. In this low level representation only, we have to provide the code, but we provided the high level representation. So here mismatch is coming or not? All of you respond for me. Here mismatch is coming or not? So what is that mismatch here we are getting there now? We are providing high level representation, but our C engine required low level representation. So here mismatch we are getting. Good. Exactly. In this particular situation, if you want to execute our C program, then we need to perform some translation from high level representation to low level representation. I need to convert my program from high level representation to low level representation. So, how we are able to perform this conversion from high level representation to low level representation? If you observe this particular point here, so for the sake of this particular conversion, we are going to use a separate process, a separate mechanism, or a separate process we are going to perform. That process, that mechanism, or that process is called as, the process is called as compilation. The process is called as what? Compilation. Right, yes. Then what compilation will do? Compilation will take, compilation will take, compilation will take C program as an input, and compilation will take C program as an input, and it able to provide dot exe file, exe file. Compilation is able to take exe file. So this exe file, this is exe file. This exe file contains low level code, low level code. And people are asking a question to me, sir, what is the difference between assembly language and what next one can know and low level representation? So I can say assembly language is not 100% low level code; it's somewhat intermediate level. But pure low level code is what? Zeros and ones. Mission code. Mission code is what? Only zeros and ones. Binary representation. But assembly language is somewhat intermediate code. It's not 100% low level code. It's an intermediate code. Understand, guys, what I'm telling you? Yes, Nikhil Sai, have you understood my point now? No response. So mission code completely low level, that is in the form of binary, but assembly language is somewhat intermediate, not 100% low level code. Good, understand it now. Yes, all of you observe this clearly. Here C program we compile, then compilation process we have done. So just we are converting from high level representation to low level representation. Now this .exe file contains low level representation now. This is mission code and it is a low level representation. Whenever we are getting this low level representation, then we are giving this low level representation code to our execution process. When we give this low level code to this execution process, automatically the low level code will be executed. By the execution of this low level code, automatically we are able to get some outputs. Automatically we are able to get some outputs. Guys, now tell me, with this particular setup, with this total setup, is my program is executable or not? Is my program is executed or not? With this particular setup, compilation and execution both, with this total part, we are able to get some outputs from our C program or not? Confirm to me, guys. All of you, please confirm to me. With this total setup, we are able to get the results from our program or not? Good. Can I ask you a question? Do you know? Can I ask you a question? Do you know? Yes, all of you know. All of you answer for my question. All of you answer for my question. Here, my question is very clear, very simple. Answer for my question. What is the requirement of compilation? Just now I explained. Now, just we have to give answer for it. What is the requirement of compilation? What is the need of compilation? Right? We are getting answers now. What is the requirement of compilation? Right? One answer we can give now directly. What is that one answer here? So, translating program, transforming program or converting program from high level representation to low level representation. That means what I'm telling there, from developers friendly representation to mission friendly representations. High level representation is developers friendly and low level representation is mission friendly. That's it. This is one reason. Right. The reason, guys, all of you have to this clear. Guys, I'm asking one question to you. Now tell me, who has provided this .c file? Who has provided .c file? Come on, guys. Who has provided this .c file? Is it developer or not? Developer or programmer, whoever it may be, developer or programmer. That is basically one human being has provided it. One human being is writing that code. Am I right or not? When compared with the C engine, human being has written this code. Human being. Can you tell me what is the fundamental right for a human being? What is the fundamental right for a programmer? Fundamental right for a developer? Do you know what is this fundamental right for programmer or developer or human being? Come on, guys. Any idea? What is the fundamental right for developer or programmer or human being? Hmm? Do you have any awareness? What is the fundamental right? Right, fundamental right. Yes, Pawan Kumar, that's okay, good. Any other idea? Fundamental right for developer. Simple question I'm asking you. What is the fundamental right for developer? Right. People are not giving my exact answer. Right, sir. Fundamental right for developer is what? Any name to programmer? No, not like this. Fundamental right for programmer is doing mistakes, committing mistakes. Definitely, he is a human being. Definitely, he has to go for number of mistakes. His committing mistakes is a fundamental right for developer. Yes, understand it now clearly. So human beings can do mistakes is a minimum thing. Can do mistakes is a minimum thing. But having errors, having mistakes is not the issue. But without checking them, trying to execute the program is a blunder. Without checking mistakes in our program, trying to execute our program is a blunder mistake. Understand it now. So here, what is the point I'm telling there? Before going to run our program, we have to check whether any errors are available or not, whether any error is exist or not in our code. Before going to run our program, we have to check whether my program is provided as per the rules and regulations or not. Any violations are available or not, that we have to check. Yes, exactly. To check the mistakes in our program, to check mistakes in our program, there we have to go for compilation. This is another responsibilities of compilation. So what compilation we do? What is that? Another one here we are able to get no compilation. Another point is watch. So checking another responsibility of compilation is checking developers' mistakes in a program. Checking developers' mistakes in our program. Simply speaking, error checking. Simply speaking, error checking is another responsibility for compilation. Another responsibility of the compilation. That's it, guys. So finally, we are getting clarity. Compilation is required because of two reasons. Compilation is required for two reasons. What are the two reasons? No. First one is translating program from high level representation to low level representation. And the second one is checking developers' mistakes in a program. The checking developers' mistakes in our program. That means error checking. These are the two responsibilities of the compilation. Now, what is the responsibility of the execution, guys? Now tell me, what is the responsibilities of the execution? Any of you give clarity on it? What is the responsibilities of the execution now? Tell me, guys. Responsibilities of the execution is what? Execution responsibility is what? Just processing the instructions and generating output. Processing instructions and generating. See, execution will not check errors. Execution process will not check errors. Only compiler will check error. Compilation process will check errors. Execution process is just processing that instructions. Maybe a set of code is available, some native code is available, .exe file is available, executing that code, executing that binary and generating some results. That's the responsibilities of the execution process. Good, that's okay, fine. Guys, now I'm going to give two statements to all of you. Now try to remember these two statements. What are the two statements here I'm telling to you? Listen, these are important for us. These are important for us. Now try to recognize this. The time when we perform compilation, the time when we perform compilation, then it is called as compilation time, is also be called as static time. Listen guys, the time when we perform compilation is called as compilation time, is also be called as static time. The word static we have to remember. The word static we have to remember. Why? Because our topic is also today now C++ are static programming languages, but Java is a dynamic programming language. There's a point here. So here what we have to recognize, no, the time when we perform compilation is called as static time and is also be called as compilation time. Is also be called as compilation time. But similarly, the time when we perform execution, the time when we perform execution is called as execution time, is also be called as runtime, is also be called as dynamic time. Another names I'm giving it. The time when we perform execution is called as execution time, is also be called as runtime, and is also be called as dynamic time. Is it following or not? So almost all, we are very much close for our conclusion. Remember this, compilation time is called as static time, execution time is called as runtime or dynamic time. Right. As all of you respond for me, all of you are getting clarity up to now. All of you are getting clarity up to now. Please confirm to me, all of you guys. Getting clarity up to now. Right. Right. Still, I am not giving my conclusion. Just I am asking, all of you are getting clarity up to now or not? Then what is compilation time? What is execution time? What is runtime? Just I have given that information. Still, I have not given any confirmation for static programming language and dynamic programming language. Don't hurry for this, guys. Then step by step, I'm planning for it. First of all, answer for my questions. Then after that, I will give some conclusions to you now. Still, I have not given conclusion for static programming language and a dynamic programming language. To go for static and dynamic programming languages, that point fundamentals we require. That fundamentals I'm discussing now. But now I'm not giving much information about it. That's good. Guys, all of you are getting clarity up to now. Is it clear? Is it clear to all of you? Why only few members are responding? Why not all members are responding? Not all members. Only few members are responding now. I don't know what is the reason for it. Everybody is a part of our class. Everybody has to respond for it. That's good. Next one is, this is one fundamental I required. Now I'm going to talk about another fundamental. Listen and give answers for my questions. There's one thing I'm telling there. If you're active, my class will be active. If you're not active, my class will not be active. So depending on you only, how you are going to mold your class, that depends on you. If you're active, myself is active. If you're not active, myself is also not active. Simple. If you're not responding for my questions now, simply I will close the session. I'll go outside. That's it. So your response is important now. Your response is important. See, and moreover, this is not offline class. You are not sitting in front of me. This is totally online. If you're sitting in front of me, I can see your faces and I can understand whether you understood it or not on the basis of your glowness. But now I'm unable to see your faces now. Then on the basis of your response only, I can understand. So your response is oxygen now. If you give response time to time, then that will be an oxygen for me. Then I will take it and I'll move forward. If you're not responding, if you're keep quiet, if you're completely silent in our session, then I'm not going to get anything from you. Understand it now? So response is important time to time. Guys, understand it now. Into A is equal to 10. Into A is equal to 10. Tell me guys, here what is variable? What is variable? A is a variable. What is data? What is data? A is a variable. That's okay. When data is what? 10 is the data. Good. Which type of data it is? Which type of data it is? Which type of data it is? Integer is a type of data. That's perfect, guys. All of you are good. All of you are good at your technology. Good. My question is, data is available, variable is available, data type is available. Listen carefully. So whenever we declare this data, the data must be stored in a memory or not? The data must be stored or not? Data must be stored. Where the data has to be stored? Where data has to be stored? Memory. That memory. Good. How much memory? How much memory? Definitely. Data has to be stored at memory only. But how much memory? How much memory? Is RAM or somewhere else? Definitely RAM only. But how much memory? That's my content. How much memory? Now tell me, in this example, I'm asking there, how much memory? Int is a data type. On the basis of that only, how much memory we are going to decide. On the basis of that only, how much memory we are going to decide. Int. Good. But how much memory it is, no, that depends on language. If you go for C programming language, If you go for C, C++, it will be 2 bytes of memory. If you go for Java programming language, it will be 4 bytes of memory in general. In general, I'm telling there. Okay, good. Then what happened internally? First of all, on the base of the change, on the base of the programming language, block, block of memory will be created. That block may be 2 bytes or 4 bytes depending on the programming language. For this entire block of memory, one name is required. For this total block of memory, okay, first of all, block of memory is created. Inside this block of memory, data will be 10. For this total block of memory, one name is required. That name is A. That name is A. So how much memory? Maybe 2 bytes or 4 bytes. That depends on programming language. Let's assume we are talking about C programming language. So 2 bytes of memory here we can understand. Good, sir. Finally, the point what I am telling to you in this conversation, in this particular thing, for the data types, for the variables on the base of the data types, memory allocation is provided or not? For the variables on the base of the data types, memory allocation is provided or not? The memory is allocated for the variables on the base of the data types or not? Understand my point here now? So here, what are the various data types are available in general? Int may be, long may be, float may be, common data types I'm talking now, double may be, and so on and so on and so on. Data types are existed. These data types, yeah, into char is also, and so on, some data types. These data types are called as primitive data types. These data types are called as what? Primitive data types. Data types are called as primitive data types. Everybody has to understand this clearly. These data types are called as what? Primitive data types. Understand this? What I'm telling you. Good. So, for primitive data types, memory allocation is available or not? Programming languages are providing this memory allocation or not? For these primitive data types, memory allocation is provided by programming languages or not? Please confirm to me, guys. Yes or no? I'm expecting yes or no. For these primitive data types, memory allocation is provided by the programming language or not? Yes, exactly. Programming languages are providing memory allocation on the basis of these primitive data types. That's perfect. Yeah. Listen now. All of listen carefully. One conclusion. One conclusion. Everybody has to understand this conclusion. So, what is this conclusion now I'm giving to you? Any programming language, if any programming language allows memory allocation for the primitive data type, if any programming language or else small change, statement, if a memory allocation, if memory allocation, if memory allocation is provided for, if memory allocation is provided for primitive data types at the compilation time, memory allocation is provided for primitive data types at compilation time, then that memory allocation is called as, that memory allocation is called as static memory allocation. The memory allocation is provided at compilation time is called as static memory allocation. Observe this clearly. Memory allocation is provided for primitive data types at compilation time. At the time of compilation itself, then it is called as static memory allocation. Good. Similarly, now tell me what is dynamic memory allocation? Similarly, what is dynamic memory allocation, guys? Now tell me exact point, but small change. What is that? No. What is it? No. It is not required. It is a stack or a heap or it doesn't matter. Not no. Not no. Just terminology is required. So here also be, if memory allocation is provided, if the memory allocation is provided for primitive data types at runtime, at runtime, at runtime, then that memory allocation is called as dynamic memory allocation. And that memory allocation is called as dynamic memory allocation. So if the memory allocation for primitive data at compilation time, static memory allocation, if the memory allocation is provided for the data at runtime, for the primitive data at runtime, then that memory allocation is a dynamic memory allocation. Good. Static memory allocation and dynamic memory allocation. Good. Guys, once again confirm to me. All of you are getting clarity up to now. All of you are getting clarity up to now. What is static memory allocation? What is dynamic memory allocation? All of you are getting clarity up to now. Right. That's perfect. That's perfect. Now let's come to our actual conclusion. Let's come for our actual conclusion. C and C++ are static programming languages, but Java is a dynamic programming language. Now I'm asking, now I'm telling what is static programming language, what is dynamic programming language. Now I'm telling you, try to understand it. If any programming language allows static memory allocation, what is the meaning of it now? Memory allocation at compilation time. Memory allocation at compilation time. If any programming language allows static memory allocation, that is memory allocation at compilation time, then that programming language is called as static programming language. That programming language is called as static programming language. If any programming language follows static memory allocation, that is memory allocation at compilation time, then that programming language is called as a static programming language. Examples are C and C++. Examples are C and C++. Why? Because in the C and C++ applications, memory allocation will be provided at a compilation time, by the compiler. So because of this reason, C and C++ are static programming languages. C and C++ are static programming languages. That's it. Now, in the same way, we can define what is dynamic programming language. In the same way, we can define what is dynamic programming language. All of you guys observe this clearly. Any programming language allows memory allocation, or else if any programming language allows dynamic memory allocation, that means memory allocation, memory allocation at runtime, memory allocation at runtime, then that programming language is called as dynamic programming language. Dynamic programming language. Right. So example for dynamic programming language are Java. Now that's it. Of course, Python or .NET and all different things are available. So all the Java is our required example. Just Java. I'm specifying to you. Understand it clearly. Right, sir. Right, sir. Now let's understand it clearly. If any programming language allows dynamic memory allocation at runtime, then the programming language is called as dynamic programming language. Now, next one is just it's not like a physical memory, just it's like operational memory. Sudhanshu. Operational memory in the sense, whenever we are going to execute our program, maybe C program or Java, for example, then that programming languages will grasp some memory from main memory. There, that memory allocation I'm talking about. It's not like what I'm telling here, hard drive, hard disk. This is like what no RAM. Anyway, then we'll talk about later on much clearly. So the other points are obtained. Just wait a minute, obtain. Guys, just not to worry for this. Just I've taken 1 minute gap. Okay, fine. Now observe carefully. Right, sir. So if any programming language allows dynamic memory allocation, that is memory at runtime, then the programming language is called as dynamic programming language. In Java applications, memory will be allocated runtime, not at compilation time. At runtime in Java, memory will be allocated at what time? Runtime, not at compilation time. Right, sir. I can give one more direction, guys. All of you observe carefully. Right, sir. Right, exactly. Then Nikhil, the point is right. But even though that memory allocation is at runtime, but minimal. See, one thing I'm telling you. In the case of Java, for the data types, memory allocation will be fixed. You know, primitive data types in Java is a fixed memory allocation. For example, int, I'm going to take now 4 bytes of memory. Definitely, once you are using that int, then automatically 4 bytes of memory will be created. That is minimum. That must be created. Understand it now. So then after that, what it is doing there, when it will create that 4 bytes of memory, if really that variables are used, if really that variables are useful, then only it will create memory. If that variables are not utilized, then memory will not be created. So it's going on in the case of Java. Then by the time we are able to get dynamism. So whether it is useful or not. If it is useful, then it will create memory. If it is not useful, it will not create that memory. If it is accessible for JVM, then definitely memory must be created. If it is not accessible, then the JVM definitely will not create memory. Yeah, their dynamism will come. Good. That's a different one. Guys, all of you observe this clear. I'm asking one more question. Now try to answer for it. Listen, guys. All of you listen carefully. Java is an object-oriented programming language or not? Java is an object-oriented programming language or not? Definitely, Java is an object-oriented programming language. Means that simple awareness. In object-oriented programming languages, data will be stored in the form of objects. In object-oriented programming, sorry guys. In object-oriented programming languages, data will be stored in the form of objects. Good. What is an object? Data will be stored in the form of objects. I know. But what is an object? Object is a block of memory. Object is a block of memory. It's a memory, block of memory. Object. Class is a real world entity. But object is what? Is a block of memory where entities data will be stored. Object is a block of memory where entities data will be stored. Good. That's fine. Means that what is the point indirectly I'm telling to you? In a Java programming language, as it is an object-oriented programming language, whenever we are creating object, that means when we create object, then only memory will be created for the data. When objects are creating, then only memory will be created for data. When objects are creating, then only memory allocation is going on. Understand, guys, what I'm telling them now? When memory is created, then only when memory is created, then only whenever object is created, then only memory will be created. Can you tell me in Java at what time objects are creating? In Java, at what time objects are creating? Think of it. In a C++, objects are creating at compilation time. But in the case of Java, objects are creating at a runtime. In the case of Java, objects are creating at a runtime. So objects are creating at runtime in the sense memory allocation is provided at runtime or compilation. Objects are creating at runtime in the sense memory allocation is at runtime or not. Once memory allocation is at runtime in the sense, what is the meaning of it now? Dynamic memory allocation or not? If it is dynamic memory allocation, then the programming language is what? Dynamic programming language or not? So even in this direction also we can conclude Java is a dynamic programming language. In this way also we can conclude Java is a dynamic programming language. Good guys. Now this is the point what I'm telling to you. Alright, Java memory allocation is a trend is RAM, right? Whether C or Java. But how come C can assign memory allocation at compilation time in RAM I'm confused as what happened if you only compile but doesn't run the program. Yeah, what I have to give answer for it now. Mm, see, as per my view, what I'm telling to you, whenever we compile our program, anyway, then totally whatever the point here you're asking, that is totally depending on the programming languages. Why? Because in any programming language, if memory allocation is going on at a compilation time, that means static memory allocation is going on, definitely the compilation process has to take some memory from RAM. Compilation process has to take some memory from RAM. There it has to store some data. Maybe. At runtime, the same memory locations are used by execution process. That is in the case of static programming languages, maybe. As I thought, as I'm thinking. But in the case of these dynamic programming languages, then what will happen? Compilation is not going to store any data. It is not going to provide any memory allocation. So that's why the RAM memory will be taken at only runtime. At runtime, that memory is going to be provided. That depends on programming languages. Max, if memory allocation is going on at compilation time, then definitely it has to allocate some memory for this data at compilation itself. So definitely it has to use the RAM memory. But if it is dynamic programming language, at runtime, obviously the dynamic programming languages are going to take that content. So that's the point here. So at comparison time itself, memory allocation will be there. It will take some memory from it, operational memory. That's one thing. Right, yes. Any other? Sudhansh, understand it now. Yes, exactly. Exactly, Sudhansh. Right. And few questions and people are asking to me. And now I'm asking one question to all of you guys. Now tell me exactly. Right, Sudhansh, right. Java types are determined at runtime, definitely. But compilation process, it will check the types are compatible or not. That process is available. That will be different. Don't worry for this. Guys, and one more question I'm asking you, now try to answer for it. Static memory allocation and dynamic memory allocation, two things here we understood. Tell me which one is best, which one is better, and which one is suggestible? Static memory allocation or dynamic memory allocation? Static memory allocation or dynamic memory allocation? I'm sure, definitely dynamic memory allocation. Not static memory allocation, dynamic memory allocation. Why? Because if we go for the static memory allocation, blindly we are going to allocate some memory, but whether we are going to use the data or not, that will be decided at runtime. But at comparison time itself, we are going to allocate the memory. So maybe memory basis kind of quantity is going on. Maybe memory basis kind of quantity is going on. But in the case of this dynamic memory allocation, what happened there? Dynamic memory allocation, what happened there? No, just how much is required, after that we are going to use. How much is required, after that we are going to use. So because of that reason, definitely dynamic memory allocation is able to save our memory, is the right approach, is the best approach. Right, sir. On the basis of uses only, memory will be allocated. Nikhil sir, how can you say then 4 bytes of memory is wasted for integer? Can you tell me what is the reason for it? How can you say 2 bytes of memory is sufficient for integer? Then on which basis 2 bytes of memory is sufficient for integer? How can you say that? Okay, fine, understood. 8 bits. 8 bits is in the sense 1 byte only, right? Not 2 bytes. So this I'm asking to you, on which basis you are saying 2 bytes are sufficient or 4 bytes are not sufficient, or maybe 4 bytes are more memory or 2 bytes are sufficient memory? On which basis? Based on data. Based on data. Maybe the data representation may be varied from programming language to programming language. Do you think about it? The same data representation is available in all programming languages. Do you think about it? Same data representation is going in all programming languages. No. If it is no, then think of it. Maybe C and C++ may use 2 bytes of memory and Java may use 4 bytes of memory as per the data representation. Maybe. Understand it? Answer is in our response only. Of course, maybe that C and C++ may be sufficient to provide 2 bytes of memory for integers. Maybe as per Java representations, Java data Java data representation would need 4 bytes of memory. Maybe. Yes. To store values like 2, it required 8 bits. That's why again I'm asking the same question. To store 2 as a value, how can you say 8 bits is sufficient? How? Do you think about it as if the number 2 is going to be stored at low level? That means at memory level, binary conversion. Yeah, binary conversion. And before this binary conversion, one more form is available. Think of it, ASCIIs and Unicode, some kind of differentiation is available, right? That's what I'm asking there. ASCIIs or by Unicode, this type of representations are available. Yeah, that's the reason. Good. Nikhil, understand it? Fine, sir. That's fine. All right, guys. Anything else? Anything else? Almost the time is now 7 o'clock. Anything else apart from this? Shall we continue on tomorrow? The remaining part? Shall we continue on tomorrow? Remaining part? Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. And I'll see you on tomorrow. But on tomorrow, day after tomorrow, maybe link is going to be expired. Try to complete our initiations. Then I'll continue our classes there. Maybe within 1 or 2 days after, link is going to be expired. The demo link is going to be over. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you for your support. I'll be there tomorrow. Tomorrow, same link maybe. If any changes are available for registered members, you will get a mail. You will get a mail with a new link. I think so. As per my view, tomorrow may be same link. Maybe admin people may change it. Maybe tomorrow or day before, I don't know. But if they change it, they will send a mail to you with the link, new link. Link information will be provided through mail for the registered members. Okay, no need to worry for this. But same time, same time. Definitely, guys. Then Pavan Kumar, the batch timing would be, as I said to you in the first day of demo class now. Haven't attended demo classes there? Pavan Kumar. Yeah, that's the problem. Is where I am providing these timings. Yes, exactly then. Up to few days of time only, this is 6 o'clock you have to attend. Later on, yeah. Now see this. Core Java. If you want to attend for this Core Java only, first 15 days of time, I will take sessions at 6 a.m. After 15 days of time, I will take sessions at 7 to 8. Basic Java and complete Java people, first 15 days of time, I will take sessions at 6 a.m. After 15 days of time, I will take sessions at 7 to 8 and as well as 8 to 9. So they are the schedules. Okay, then try to follow this. Yeah, no issues. Then today only we started our actual content. Just demos are completed. The demo videos are available on internet and the Durgasoft channel. Just try to check that videos. Demo videos are available. Then all these things I specified clearly, timings and everything. So try to check the demo videos once. You'll get more clarity. That's it. Basic Java and core Java same. No. In basic Java, what you are able to get, basic Java, you are able to get core, advanced Oracle, and UI up to jQuery, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, DOM, and jQuery. But core Java in the sense only core Java. Only core Java. Understand it now? Right, sir? And complete Java in the sense up to Spring Framework. Core Java, advanced Java, Hibernate, web services. Web service is optional, but Max will try for it. But Oracle and all these things we are able to get Max. These many things we are able to get complete Java. Just anyway, then one time talk with our admin people. So Bhavani is our admin and she will take care about all my classes. So just one time talk with her with this number. Okay. Any topic out syllabus means that you will explain the topic also. Out syllabus in the sense I'm not getting it. But within the limitation, within the syllabus max, I'm planning for it. Why? Because we are not going to have much time. Why? Because completing the syllabus is the biggest task. In Java, completing the syllabus is the biggest task. But whatever the commitments I'm going to give, up to that I will be sure. But outside that, maybe may not be. Depends on our view. Outside syllabus may not be possible. Why? Because then we may not have that much of time. Like completing the total syllabus is a challenge for us. So even we have to work on even weekends also max. Yeah, that's what I'm telling to you. Maybe within the boundaries max, I'm able to discuss with the max. That's it. Maybe if it is in my reach, then I can explain. But if it is in my range, then I can explain. And one more thing, just I'm going to have back-to-back classes, sir. Then my schedule is like right from 6 o'clock to 1 o'clock, and again 3 o'clock to night 11 o'clock. So totally busy. Maybe if time is possible, then I can go for it, and otherwise not. Right. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. I'll meet on tomorrow. After 15 days of time, not advanced Java, Oracle we will start first. After Oracle, then we will start advanced Java. Yeah. First to 15 days are doing core Java basics only. Then after that Oracle we will start. After this Oracle, I will start advanced Java. Meanwhile, you will get more content on core Java also. Then with the help of this core Java concepts, then we will start advanced Java. That's it. Guys, and shall we meet on tomorrow? Already it was getting delay. Already have some session at 7 o'clock. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot. We'll meet on tomorrow.